Yeah, it's been asked in the past. The lore of my name is, it started with the word free, if I'm to totally demystify it. But I'll be honest with you, I believe in something called death of the author, which relates to stories, which I learnt recently. And that is that basically an author can write a story and it can have a meaning to them and they can have an intended meaning. But then what happens is people take their own meanings from the stories. And my understanding is that death of the author is this concept that the author isn't right. The author isn't right. So I can tell you why I called myself bornFREE, but there's people have a million interpretations of the name, and I'm fine with that as long as they're not hurting anybody, or if they, as long as they don't think it's something disrespectful, then I'm fine with that. But the origin of my name is when I first got into the FGC, I was fascinated by the term free, like, you know, I thought it was a really like scrub, you know, like I thought free was like a interesting thing. And I always used to be very self-deprecating, right? So, in the same way that PR Balrog originally called himself PR Scrub, I called myself Free, right? Then I wanted something more than free. I couldn't just call myself Free, right? Don't remember exactly how it happened, but there's a movie and foundation called bornFREE, right? Which I grew up with. I didn't even know they were still around. They're still around. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made. And also I didn't realize that I would become more well known. You have to remember, when I came up with this name, I didn't think for a second I was going to become well known within the community or anything like that. So I just made up a name, right? So there's this movie and it's a foundation, and there's a song from the 60s which is based on a true story called bornFREE. And it's about a lion sanctuary, and it's about a couple from the UK who went out there to save lions from poachers, but then they have to kind of like let this lion, this very special lion, back out into nature. And I forget the rest, honestly, but I grew up with it, and sort of it was a 60s movie, but it would be on TV every now and then, you know. So I knew of bornFREE, and then I thought, oh, isn't that interesting? Like, the idea of being born free. Like, I used to think, so like, I would, you know, it's a bit like calling myself Born Scrub, right? So I'm bornFREE. And then later on I would think to myself, well, everyone's born free. It's what you do after that matters, right? So are we all born free at fighting games? Maybe Sonic Fox wasn't, I have no idea. Sonic Fox might be a special case where he wasn't born free. Like, you know, some people might be more adept at fighting games than others. But I don't think I always just thought bornFREE. Like, you know, it was just a self-deprecating name. And that was it. That was it. But then I guess like I moved to America. No, I had moved to America. And then there's this big thing about freedom in America. That's like your big thing, you know. Even though a lot of stuff in America is a myth. Best healthcare system? No. There are some wonderful opportunities here. That's for sure. There definitely are. But it's a mixed bag of things. But that's a whole nother story. So some people take strength from the name bornFREE. Some people see it as, you know, I just called my video bornFREE speech, right? So some see it as, well, he's bornFREE. He gets to say what he can say what he wants. He has the freedom to say what he wants. A lot of people say that to me, you know, like, you have the freedom to say what you want. And you're in America. So you were born free. You're in America. We're born free in America. And there's so many different things that people think the name means. And usually they're quite positive things. So I'm fine with people interpreting the name how they want to interpret it. But it's basically self-deprecation. It's basically me saying, I'm a scrub. And that's it. So that's the law. Wanted to give a big thank you to everybody on this page contributing to my Patreon. Big shout out to my biggest contributors, Nathan Duncan, Terrence Harris, You Ain't Jeff, and Steven Sense. And of course, the newcomers are all in green, including the newest of the newest, Mizu and Christian Penks. Welcome. Twitch subs, you get shout outs on stream, thanks, emotes, and badges coming soon, and more. And then finally I wanted to say I'm probably streaming now, guys, so come check me out in the links below. If I'm not, follow, hit the notification bell. I will see you soon.